Hello, my yoga friends. Welcome to Got Yoga. I'm Chris Scott. G-O-T-T, don't forget the E. And we're live! I've never done Facebook Live. Anyways, today we're going to be doing a warm-up for yoga back bends. So we're going to be preparing the body for backbending yoga. It's going to be a great overall full body stretch, full body warm up. You're going to love it. This is a video in a 4-part video series. So video 1 was backbending yoga benefits, so benefits of yoga backbends. And this is video 2. We're going to be warming up for backbends. Video 3 is going to be a video for beginners, so beginner yoga backbends. And video 4 will be exploring some deeper backbends using props, because I love props. So props are a great way to safe and effectively get yourself into some deeper poses. So if you are going to be warming up with us today, you're going to need 2 blocks. If you don't have 2 blocks, 1 block will be fine. If you don't have 1 block, then a thick book will suffice. And also you're going to need a strap. If you don't have a strap, maybe a belt or a rolled up towel or a scarf or a blanket or something like that would be great. So to get notified when I post those other 2 videos, just click the little bell button on my channel next to the subscribe button there on my channel. Before we jump into it, I just wanted to let you know that this is going to be one of the last videos here in this room, because we're hitting the road. Me and my husband and my little wiener dog here, oh gosh, Phoebe the weenie, are going to be getting in a van and heading up to the Pacific Northwest. So you might see a lot more videos in a van maybe. If you want to follow our adventure, you can follow me at Wiener Yoga, W-I-E-N-E-R Yoga on Instagram. To get video 1, backbending yoga benefits, I'll include a link to that later after this live stream is over. So to prepare the body for backbends, you've got to warm up the whole front side of the body. So today we're going to be opening up and warming up the shoulders. We're going to be engaging the core a little bit. I hope you can't see that. Can you see that little thing there? I got rid of it. We're going to be engaging the core a little bit. We're going to be opening up, warming up the hip flexors, and we're also going to be stretching the quads and engaging the glutes. So let's jump right into it. All right. Go ahead and come into a comfortable seat. I like to sit on a blanket so that my hips get a little higher than my knees. You can sit in crisscross applesauce, or you can sit in siddhasana, whatever you would like. Just bring your head over your heart and your heart over your hips. Lengthen up through the crown of your head. We're going to go ahead and join the palms together at heart center and start off our practice by just honoring our practice and joining ourselves on the mat. So go ahead and draw your chin towards your chest, close your eyes, and begin to stretch your breath a little. Nice broad shoulders. Just bringing our awareness onto the mat. Bringing our thoughts to what's happening right now. Setting aside everything else. Lift up your gaze, slowly blink open your eyes. Beautiful. All right, go ahead and interlock your fingers, flip your palms, and inhale, reach your arms up in line with your ears. So you're pressing your palms up towards the ceiling. Might have to adjust the camera here in a second. And you're imagining that the sides of your body are an extension of your arms. And then we're going to exhale exhale and bend at the elbows, broaden the heart forward, and gaze up. So you cactus arms. And then we're going to interlock the fingers again, flip the palms, and inhale, reach our arms up in line with our ears. Reach up through your fingers, reach through those inner elbow creases, and then on an exhale, widen at the elbows, draw the heart forward, gaze up. Again, interlock the fingers, flip the palms, inhale, reach up. Exhale, release the hands, cactus arms, draw the heart forward. Last time, interlock the fingers, flip the palms, inhale, reach up. On this exhale, exhale through the mouth. Cactus arms. And then go ahead and come back to center. Great, now you're gonna need your blocks. And if you have sensitive knees, then bring a blanket underneath your knees. First time doing YouTube Live, didn't know how the video was gonna work out. So bring a blanket underneath your knees for those sensitive knees. You're gonna take one block, bring it between your inner thighs. You're gonna take the other block and come into a tabletop. Knees underneath the hips, hands underneath the shoulders. You're gonna bring that block right in front of one of your hands. Great, now come back up into your stick position. So really squeeze your block. You wanna draw up through the tops of your thighs, energetically lift up through your pelvic floor. So your hip points are lifting up and your tailbone's lengthening down as you draw the abdomen up and back. You've got a nice broad chest, widening the collarbones, and then reach your hands forward. So keep that energy drawing up. As you exhale, squeeze your block and lean back. And then inhale, come back up. So as you lean back, don't let the butt collapse. And also, just go as far back as you can before you start to collapse. And then come back. Then we're going to plant our hands down, shoulders over the wrists. Option 1, knees are right underneath the hips. Option 2, you walk the knees back for it to be a little bit harder. Option 3, hardest, straight legs. So you're going to exhale, bend at the elbows, tap the block, and then inhale, lift back up. So squeeze your elbows close when you do that. So let's make a little flow into that. Energetically drawing up through the crown of the head, from the knees all the way up. Reach the hands forward, squeeze the block, squeeze the buttocks as you lean back on an exhale. Inhale to come back forward, plant the hands down underneath the shoulders. Exhale, bend at the elbows, hug them close. Broaden the shoulders. Inhale to lift back up. Come back up on your knees. Lift your hip points, hug your abdomen in. Exhale, lean back, squeeze your block. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, bend at the elbows. Broad chest as you lower down. Inhale to lift back up. One more time. We squeeze the block. It's important. If you only have one block, just squeeze the block. Don't have that block there. Here we go. Exhale, lean back. Like a little, you're like a stick or a zombie or something rising from the dead. And then here we go. Draw your shoulders back. Broaden your clavicle and exhale, hug your elbows close as you lower down. Inhale to lift back up. And remove your block. Great. Find your way back onto your seat. I like to sit on a blanket. Oh, this YouTube Live. I want to murder it for making everything blurry. Hello. There we go. So, you're on your blanket. Grab your strap. Bring your strap so that your hands are nice and wide on the strap. Your arms are straight, strap is taut. And you're going to make sure you have your head over your heart over your hips. And inhale, reach a strap up and over. There's a pause. And as you exhale, you come back to center. So if you're not feeling any stretch in the shoulders here, then go ahead and walk your hands closer together on the strap. Inhale, there's a pause, and then you exhale to come back to center. So find the breath connecting to the movement here. You want to inhale slowly. There's a little pause, and as you exhale, it's the same length as your inhale. Nice and long. Do that a couple of times. Great, and then reach your right arm up and reach your left arm behind and to the side a little bit. Not all the way to the behind, but behind and to the side a little bit. And then lengthen up. On an exhale, lean over to the left. Yeah. And then come back up to center. Gotta walk my hands closer. Reach your left arm up this time. Reach your right arm behind and to the side. And then exhale, lean over to the right. You can gaze up between the armpit if it's comfortable. Come back to center. Switch. Exhale as you lean over. Inhale to come back to center. Exhale to switch. Leaning over. Inhale to come back to center. Exhale to lean over to the left. Inhale to come back to center. Exhale, switching the arms, lean over to the right. Great. And we're done with that. Stay on your blanket, but come on to plant your feet down and squeeze your knees together. So we're preparing for boat here. If you know you're in a bus, know your boat, go ahead and just jump into it. Lengthen through the crown of the head and come up onto your tippy toes. So you're grabbing behind the backs of your knees here. And then you just don't want to collapse in the spine. That's what you want. You want a long back body. So as maybe you lift your feet up, keep that long back body. Maybe you can release your hands, reach them forward. Keep breathing here. Pull your navel down towards your spine. Broaden your heart forward. And then exhale, join the palms of the feet together. Press the hands into the earth. Inhale, lengthen up, head over heart. You can grab at the ankles, bringing the hands forward. Lead with the chest. You draw your torso over your legs for Baddha Konasana. So then your head just dangles naturally. And maybe you gently use your arms or your elbows to open the hips a little bit more. We're going to inhale, close the knees, come back up onto the tippy toes. Lengthen through the crown of the head. And then when you're ready, exhale. Find your way into that boat. You can straighten your legs here if you'd like. You can pretend to row a boat if that's easier to help you keep finding something to focus on. I just like to look at my feet and really lift my heart forward. And then exhale, join the feet together. Knees wide. Inhale, you lengthen up. Then you can bring the hands forward. Lead with the chest as you lower over your legs. And then you can let the head dangle and the upper back round. Take a nice recovery breath here. One more time, we close the knees together as we inhale, sitting up. And then when you're ready, exhale, lift your feet up in line with your knees. Reach your heart forward. Keep breathing here, pull the navel down towards the spine. Maybe you just straighten one leg. Maybe you straighten both legs. Doesn't matter. Exhaling, pulling the heels close. Inhaling, lengthening up. And then you fold over those legs. Take a nice deep breath into your upper back here. And then go ahead and find your way onto your back. You're going to need your block here in a second. So, hopefully the camera finds me eventually. Plant your feet down, bring your feet close to your buttocks. And bring your feet not hip distance apart, but maybe like 2 or 3 inches apart from each other. So I know my feet are close enough when I can graze my heels with my fingers. And then you're gonna just take a breath there while I try to get the camera focused. Yeah. So then you're gonna lift your hips up. So you press into your feet and lift your hips up into the air. From here, you want to roll onto the tops of your shoulders. So sometimes it helps if you grab your mat and use it to grip it to tuck your shoulders under. Some people like to interlock their fingers and roll onto the tops of the shoulders. Either way, you're drawing your chest towards your chin here. Your feet are right underneath your knees, and you're squeezing your knees together so they don't splay out. So this is where we're engaging the glutes. You can even take your fingers, bring them to your lower buttocks where that hamstring attachment is. Make sure it's firm and engaged. Maybe you lift one foot up into the air, keeping those hips lifted, chest drawing towards the chin. Maybe you lift the other foot up into the air. One more breath here. Engage in those glutes. And then, exhale, lower the hips down. Release. This is where the block comes in handy. Lift your hips up again and bring a block underneath your lower back. So, we're starting to stretch the front side of the body here. Still lift your heart up, tuck your shoulders under a little. And then we're going to stretch the quads a bit. So if you can, draw your left foot behind you. You can use your hand to pull it behind you, and you'll feel a little stretch on the top of your quad there. Keep remembering, find that nice conscious breath, relaxing any tension in your face. And then go ahead and switch. So grab your right foot, pull it back if you can. Sometimes it feels nice to reach the hands back behind you here. Just quiet the brain, close the eyes. Feel that quad stretch. And then plant the right foot back down, lift the hips up. Remove the block. As you exhale, pull the knees into your chest and give yourself a nice, yummy hug. All right, we're gonna rock ourselves up to a seated position. If you don't like rocking, go ahead and just sit up, swing your feet to one side, and find your way into down dog. Or you can cross your shins, rock yourself up, plant your hands down, and step back into a downward facing dog. So in downward facing dog, you're lifting your hips up and back. So you're trying to get your torso to spill over your, your hip bones here. So sometimes it's nice to have a really generous bend in the knees to start. You're pressing your palms into the mat, the hands are shoulder distance, and you're bringing the weight into the heels. Once you've found that the hips are lifting up and back, then maybe you start to straighten the legs. You can pedal the knees here. Stay in your down dog, just work the kinks out. Here we go. Pedal the feet, taking the dog on a walk. Well, that didn't work out. And then go ahead and bring the feet together. Reach the right leg up into the air, and then pull it all the way through, bringing the right foot close to the hands, and inhale, lifting up into a low lunge, Anjaneyasana here. So your knees over your ankle. Man, I hate this. Come on, camera. Pick it up. Your knee is over your ankle. Yes. So you want to Pada Bandha. Press your right foot into the earth. Squeeze your inner thighs. Lift up through your hips. Pull up through the whole body. Lifting up through the side body as well. And then once you've got all that engaged, you've got your back glute engaged, maybe you sink your hips a little bit deeper. Plug your right femur bone back into its hip socket. Try interlocking the fingers behind you, broadening the chest. Maybe you gaze up. If that's not an option for you, grab at the elbows, broaden the shoulders. So you're still broadening the chest, your collarbones are wingtips. Spreading their wings. And then go ahead, plant your hands and press back, bringing the right foot back to the left into a downward facing dog. Feel free to go through a vinyasa there if you'd like, and meet back in downward facing dog. This time we're going to reach the left foot up into the air, pull the knee into the chest. As we exhale, bringing the foot all the way through, drop the back knee, untuck the toe, and inhale, rising up into another low lunge. So your inner thighs are squeezing together, you're lifting up through the abdominals here, and your chest is nice and broad. You've got everything, just the whole line of energy drawing up. And then maybe you sink the hips a little bit more. Again, plugging this femur bone back into its socket. Lots of energy in Anjaneyasana. Maybe you interlock the fingers, open the chest. Woo! Don't fall over if you're going to gaze up. Or you can always grab at the elbows. Then plant your palms. Press back into a downward facing dog or go into your vinyasa. You're going to need a block and maybe a strap for this next one. So have those close by. Reach the right leg up. Pull the knee into the chest. Same thing. Low lunge. Right foot comes close to the hands. You inhale to lift up. So from here, you can either bring your right forearm onto the top of your right thigh and then just draw your left heel towards you and see if you can grab the top of your foot with your left arm. This is not doable for you. Try taking a block to the outside of your right foot. Back behind your foot a little bit. Plant your hand down on it. See if you can draw your heel towards you and grab your foot. If that's not an option, then lean the weight back. Loop your strap over your foot. So you've got the strap ready. Then bring the weight forward again. Draw the strap over your shoulder. And then start to draw your heel towards you using your strap as your leverage here. Still keep drawing up through your inner thighs. And then go ahead, release the strap if you had it, move the block if you have it, press back into another downward facing dog or go through that vinyasa. Meet us back in down dog. This time, reaching the left leg up into the air, pulling the knee into the chest, bringing the foot all the way through, inhale, coming to rise. So same thing. Inner thighs engaging, lifting up through the hip points. Maybe you sink the hips a little bit more. The forearm can come onto the top of the thigh as you reach back and grab that right heel. And if that's not an option for you, planting the hand down on the block and using a strap on this back foot is also great. We're just trying to get a stretch on the top of our thigh, our quad here. If all of those things, if none of these options are working, try bringing yourself to a wall, bringing one foot forward, and then bringing your back foot on the wall. So my back foot's starting to crawl. I'll move my body out of the way. So my back foot's starting to crawl up the wall as I scoot my knee back. So you just kind of have to wiggle yourself into it. So now my heel's really pressed against the wall. And my front leg, front knee is bent. My ankle is right underneath my knee. I'm in a low lunge again, but I'm using the wall to draw my heel towards my buttocks instead. Awesome. Okay. Let's all meet back in downward facing dog. And then just go ahead and plant your knees down. Grab your blocks. Bring them in front of you. Bring them shoulder distance apart. And you're going to place your elbows onto your blocks here. I like to bring my big toes to touch, my knees wide. Then I sit my hips back and I lean my chest. I don't lean my chest. I draw my chest towards the floor. If your blocks start to like lift up, then you need to scoot them back a little bit more. Your hips, your sit bones are resting on your heels. Your knees are nice and wide. Your hands are joined together and they're drawing towards the center of your upper back. So you should be feeling a stretch in the armpits here. If your heels are high up off of if your sit bones are high up off your heels, you can roll a blanket underneath your sit bones. And just find a nice steady breath here. You can press that third eye point, the center of your brow, into the mat. Give it a little massage, rocking the head back and forth if you'd like. And this is how we'll finish off today's practice. So now you're all warmed up. Your body is ready to do some back bends. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next week. I don't know how to close this out.